What's up guys, it's Nathan from Tattooing 101 and today we're going to be doing a review of the CNC Kronos tattoo machine. This is a new one they've recently brought out, and stick around until the end of the video because we are going to be giving this machine away to one of our lucky viewers, and I'll be sharing more details about how you can go in the draw to win this in just a bit. So more and more beginner tattoo artists are jumping onto the CNC brand, mainly because of how simple their machines are. This one's just got 3 buttons, there's no extra bells and whistles on it, which I actually really like. It has an adjustable stroke all the way down from 2.7 millimeters all the way up to 4.5 millimeters. So this machine can do a bit of everything, great all-rounder. So you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on getting multiple different machines to do different jobs. Plus, it's only 150 bucks. So really excited to see if the quality is there as well, even though it's got such a low price point, which is absolutely perfect if you're just getting started in tattooing. So to put this machine to the test, we're going to be tattooing this design. We're going to be working on everything from fine lines to thicker lines, smooth shading, as well as color packing, so we can really see what this thing can do. But before we get into it, make sure that you smash the like and subscribe button so that we can keep making more videos just like this one and continue to review more machines as they come out so you can see what's buying and what's not before you spend any of your hard-earned money. Let's get this machine out and see what's inside. So we've just taken the case out of the box. Yeah, cool, comes with a little CNC logo on the front, so you can see that. Nice little double zipper and a little loopy thing to hang it, maybe on like a rack or on your shelves or something like that. So let's open this thing up. And got a nice little bit of foam just to kind of keep the machine safe. It does also come with a manual. So we can see that we've got a little charging cord here. It's a USB-C charging cord, so this will connect directly into like a phone charger or a computer or something like that. It doesn't have a wall outlet with it, so you're gonna have to plug it into something in order to charge it up. Now, in terms of the battery life for this thing, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours is what you're gonna get out of the Kronos, and it only takes 3 hours to charge, which is pretty good. That's quite a fast charging machine. There are batteries that do last longer than 6 hours, but you typically have to charge them for a little bit longer. But if you just getting into tattooing, you're not gonna be doing massive tattooing sessions anyway, so 4 to 6 hours is plenty. Let's take a look at the machine. So take it out of their sleeve. Straight off the bat, initial thoughts, it is a little bit heavy. This thing is 264 grams, but the good news is all of the weight is in the front of the machine. As I hold it and kind of try and balance it, it just wants to like drop down into my hand, which is good because if you have a top heavy machine, like a coil or some of these other pen machines that are around, if you're doing very precise line work or something that requires a lot of dexterity in your hands and you have like this constant tugging on your hand, it just makes it way more difficult and you get fatigued a lot faster throughout the session. In terms of the grip itself, 1.6 inches in diameter, which is quite fat. It's quite a wide grip. I'm still gonna put tape over this when I tattoo with it just because I like a really fat grip and when I have like a spongy kind of layer around it, it just allows me to kind of grip it better. It's more comfortable when I'm holding and tattooing with the machine. Looking at this, it's adjustable stroke, 7 different stroke options. It goes from 2.7, 3 millimeters, 3.3, 3.6, 3.9, 4.2, and 4.5. So I don't usually go lower than 3.5 millimeters when it comes to machine stroke, but I'll definitely give this one a bit of a try and see how it goes. For 2.7, typically I wouldn't even use that. Like maybe 3 is probably the lowest I would go, just because once you start getting lower than 3 millimeter stroke, it gets a bit harder to push some of these bigger needles into the skin, and you find that the needle cycle is significantly shorter. It's hard to get that ink to stay and get it deep enough into that second layer so that it actually stays there without messing up the ink flow and having to hang your needles out really far. But yeah, we'll still give it a go and see how it performs. But for if I was going to use the 2.7 millimeter stroke, I'd do that if I was like doing fine line with a 10 gauge 3 or something like that. Then as I go up towards a 3 and a 3.5, that's where I'm going to be doing all my smooth black and gray to get soft shades and buttery smooth transitions. And then as I go up to the 4 millimeters, that's when I'm going to be packing color, line work, and I'm going to be using the 4.5 for my line work, and we'll see how that holds up when we put it to the test. And to take the battery off, it's pretty easy, you just pull it, but it does have little grooves on the battery, so when I go to put it back on, I just have to line up those grooves and make sure that it's in the right place, and then it slips right back into the machine, super easy. The reason why it's got the grooves is so they can turn the stroke. When you hold the middle and you twist the battery, it changes the stroke. Now this is interesting because a lot of machines, like the battery is not connected to changing the stroke. So the battery will twist and there'll be a separate section that you need to twist for the stroke, and then you can twist the grip to change the depth. And with all those moving parts, it's very difficult to wrap. Now, when we turn the battery on, again, it's very simple. It's just got an on button, more voltage, less voltage, simple. I actually like that a lot. Now, if we look at the screen, we can see it's got a timer so you can tell how long you've been tattooing for. Really useful because when you get into the zone and you're tattooing, it's very easy to lose track of time and you don't know how much to charge the customer, and then it gets a little bit awkward at the end. Straight away, you can tell exactly to the minute how long you've been tattooing for. You can also see that it's got a hertz reading as well as a voltage. This is interesting. It feels a little bit cheap with the buttons, like they're all connected. So if you like lightly touch them, you can tell that they're like all connected, but you know, in order to get the price point that low, you can understand why some of those parts of the machine are like that. So not a big deal, just something to keep in mind. It has got some extra O-rings as well. So if these ever break on your machine, you got some additional ones on hand. So with this machine, going back to the voltage, it ranges from 4 to 12 volts, which again, super standard. You're never really gonna go up to 12 volts. You don't need that much voltage. So that's pretty much everything with this machine. I really love how simple it is. It's just a bare bones machine, which it's really annoying with a lot of tattoo machines that come out that have potential and they've just got all these needless bells and whistles on it. This one doesn't have any of that. It's just got an on button, an off button, tattoos, it records how long you've been tattooing for, says the voltage on the screen, has the power readout, and that's it. Not a whole lot to get confused with. Now, let's wrap this thing up and see if we can get it so that we're able to easily adjust the stroke and the depth of the needle by twisting the grip while still maintaining a really nice sanitary setup. All right, so let's get this machine wrapped. Now, because of the way that the machine is designed, I'm gonna have to do it a little bit differently to how I normally would wrap an adjustable stroke machine. But because you rotate the battery in order to adjust the stroke as opposed to the middle of the machine, we're gonna have to start the other way and start wrapping the machine at the top. All you're gonna need to wrap this up is some scissors, some regular medical tape, some grip tape, and some barrier film. Okay, so we'll get a little sheet of barrier film to start off with. Because my barrier film is black, that's gonna make it a little bit more difficult to read the screen, so we just have to make sure that there's only one layer of barrier film over the top of the battery. So we've got the barrier film just lying on the desk like this, and we're gonna be very gentle and just roll it up, making sure that we start the wrap above the stroke ring on the machine. So we only wanna cover the battery, we don't wanna go any lower onto the second part of the machine. So you can see how we're just wrapping up the battery, nothing else. We go over onto that middle part of the machine, it's not going to be able to adjust the stroke. Now, we're going to make some little cuts in the barrier film. We can just fold the top directly over the screen. Definitely wanna make sure you've only got one layer of barrier film over the top of the machine. For the next step, we need to get a little bit of tape, and we're still gonna have this on the top part of the machine on the battery. This is just so that we can be able to see what stroke the machine is currently on. Okay, so we're just gonna put this just over the top. Again, we're focused only on the battery, and then we're gonna draw the individual strokes. So now we're gonna get a pen and we're gonna mark out individual strokes. So we've got a 4.5. So we're just gonna put a little line there and we're gonna go up pretty far with that. Gonna line it up with the dot or the decimal that's in between the first and second number. .6, 3.3, 3 millimeters, 2.7, and this is 3.0 there, 3.3. So the next thing that we do is we want to wrap the middle part of the machine. So all we need is a little bit of tape with a section folded over so it's not sticky. And we just want to wrap that all the way around the middle. Now you can see that the sticky section is only wide enough to go on the center of the machine, and the part that I've folded over is what overlaps. So that covers the machine entirely, but it still allows for freedom of movement. I can still use the machine. Now to mark out the setting of the stroke, we just put a little line. So then that way, when we turn it, we know exactly what stroke we're currently using. Cool, so you can see that now when we turn the grip, the depth can move freely, and then when we twist the top, the stroke can move freely. So now I just need to get a little bit of barrier film and put that over the top. We just grab some paper towel, fold this over, just put the paper towel over the grip. This is gonna help make the machine a lot more comfortable. It's gonna save you a ton of grip tape as well. And the machine is fully covered and ready to go. All right, so I've done a lot of the thicker lines now, and what I'm seeing straight away with this machine is that it's fine. Like it's pushing the thicker liners in no trouble, but again, the weight, and because the grip bulges out so much, it's a little bit awkward to hold. So what I'm finding myself doing, instead of kind of holding the machine up a little bit higher than what I normally do, I'm kind of like holding towards the bottom of the machine, like my thumb and my finger is like almost clasped around the end, and the needle cartridge is just resting against my middle finger like that. So then that way, like the grip's starting to narrow a little bit as I kind of go down. One thing I don't like about this machine is I've just turned it off and the needle is still protruding out of the cartridge. Just be careful of that, like when you turn the machine off, there's no guarantee that the needle is gonna be within the cartridge. So something to look out for. You always wanna make sure that when you turn your machine off and you put it down, that it's fully retracted in the cart. I'm gonna turn the voltage up just a little bit because I'm having to move really slow to get these in. So we're gonna turn this up to 8 volts. Usually on a 5mm stroke machine, I have it like on 6.5 to 7. But yeah, since this is only 4.5, we've got it running a little bit harder. So just switching over to the 7-liner now. All right, so I just finished the line work on this piece. So far, quite happy with it on how it's going with the line work. It's pushing in the bigger liners, no issue. Got it on 8 volts. Could easily turn it up to 8.5, potentially even 9 volts to move a little bit quicker. It is able to get those thicker liners in. Next up, I'm gonna put the blacks in. We'll see how it goes with some of the bigger mags. I've got a 15 that we're gonna try out. By the way, guys, this design is actually from the refreshed version of the Artist Accelerator program. We're in the process of updating all the modules so you guys have access to the most up-to-date information and techniques, as well as exactly what to do to improve your skills to get to a professional level. When you join, you get access to our mastermind group where you can connect with us to get feedback and advice on your tattoos, join the live calls and network with other students who have already gone through the course, and many of whom who have now opened up their own studios and are out there working actively within the tattooing industry. If that sounds interesting too, I'll pop a link down in the description so you can go check it out. Cool, so I just finished up the tattoo that we're working on with the Kronos machine. I think it's a good machine. It's a little bit heavy, but it pushes large liners in. I was using a 14 liner for this piece and it pushed it in just fine. I think what's most impressive is that they've made such a solid machine for such a low price point. It's 150 bucks. It's super simple. There's no extra features or anything like that. It's just got an on and off button and, you know, up or down for the voltage, and that's it. There's no bells or whistles. Super, super simple. I think this is definitely a great machine for a beginner. If price is a big concern, then, you know, I don't know of a machine that is as good as this for 150 bucks. Like, there's just not that many around. So if you're just starting out and you're on a tight budget, this is definitely a machine that I would recommend. Now, we are going to be giving this machine away. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is just pop a question that you have about tattooing or something that you're struggling with down in the comments below. We're doing a podcast a little bit later on. I'm going to be going through and answering each one of those questions. So if you help us build that, then we will give a machine to one of you guys. We're going to be announcing the winner on our next live call. I'll put the details for that in the description down below so you guys can check that out. And that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.